Saginaw, Saginaw. Down M13 through Genesee, I-75 is the home for me. Welcome to Saginaw, Saginaw, Saginaw. Seminole and Sheridan is where it all started for me. They say home is where you make it, there's no place that I'd rather be. Emerson, the South to Arthur Hills, so many memories. The city where I'm from is built to love along with tragedy. I'm from the east side of my city where they hustle for their family. Shout out the north side, south side, west side, and BV. I'm from the S-A-G-I-N-A, the where we thug some Crips and Bloods. Still I grip the snub, tryna get some grub. Buy a dub, tryna triple up. Show my niggas down M13 through Genesee. I-75 is the home for me. Welcome to Saginaw, Saginaw, Saginaw. Down M13 through Genesee, I-75 is the home for me. Welcome to Saginaw, Saginaw, Saginaw. This is my letter to Thuggin', know you left too soon. All and Hardy, see ya, you left too soon. My city filled with graveyards where there's no room, and nobody wins when the family feuds. Yet and still, this is home for me. Old Chipway, Big Johns, and CAC. I miss the limelight in the souls, just to name a few. Pop a bottle for my city, this one's for you. I wanna bring that whole thing back. Bring the fair and the Gus smack a back. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Yeah, I'm from the S-A-G-I-N-A, the where we thug some Crips and Bloods. Still I grip the snub, tryna get some grub. Buy a dub, tryna triple up. Show my niggas down M13 through Genesee. I-75 is the home for me. Welcome to Saginaw, Saginaw, Saginaw. Down M13 through Genesee, I-75 is the home for me. Welcome to Saginaw, Saginaw, Saginaw. This is my home. 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 My home.
Thank you guys for being in the building. Y'all know what time it is. It's Mr. No Offense, Matt Arrington, aka by the way. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate you guys for being here. I know you could be anywhere in the world, but the fact that you are here tuned in, man, that is the most important thing for us. So I definitely appreciate you guys. Today we got my man Dizzy Bates, man. It's a hell of a entrepreneur, hell of a director, videographer, you know what I'm saying, and a photographer. So we definitely got him in the building. For those of y'all in Saginaw, Michigan, you might already be familiar with the name. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man GMBC. No, we had him yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So if you know the connection between the two, then you understand what's going down. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man Daryl Austin on the Saginaw Love bringing us in. You know what I'm saying? Also Passport Republic representative and our sponsor. So man, make sure you show some love. Shout out to Moran Custom Car Audio, guys. If you want to be riding around, listen to this great music like that we listen to, but you want to make sure you hear it the right way. If you happen to be in Texas, make sure you hit up our sponsor. These are the guys that put the boom in our truck. You know what I'm saying? So I can make sure you get all those frequencies. If you're down here, make sure you're hitting up the right people to get your car audio. You know what I'm saying? Let them know Mr. No Offense sent you. They get you taken care of right away. But without further ado, I know y'all ain't tuned in to see my ugly ass face, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna stress you. I'm not even gonna stress it. I know why you're here. You know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and get out the way and bring on the man of the hour. You understand? Mr. Dizzy Bates himself, man. Here we go. And we are live, King. How you doing today, my man?
Yo, what's going on with you? What's
Hey,
good?
man. You know, almost had an episode, so I appreciate it. Um, y'all know I'm Mr.
Yeah.
No Offense. I'm gonna give it to you straight, man. Just had a crazy thing go down, guys. Don't if your wife give you something, talking about this gonna help you out, don't take that shit. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Yeah.
My wife looking at me like I just sold out. We'll explain later. We'll get to it. Those of y'all who don't say what I said radio, yes, it's going down. I'll let you know. So make sure you hop in the chat later. But until then, let's get down to the business. All right. So Mr. Dizzy Bates, brother, first and foremost, thank you again for your time. I do understand you're a very important man, very busy man. So I appreciate you for sitting down with us. Okay.
No problem. I appreciate you. Look, I'm honored to be on your platform. Thank you for having me. No offense. I'm ready.
Facts.
I got
Let's get into it then, my man. Let's start from the beginning, like all good stories do, bro. Where you know what I'm saying? Where did you go to school and things like that as a shorty, my man?
well, I'm born and raised Saginaw, Michigan. Went to school. We started with high school. I went to Arthur Hill. Um, I tried doing college. Like I went to the community college Delta for like a couple years, maybe. It wasn't for me. But yeah, from Saginaw. Grew up in Saginaw, born and raised. Went to like I said, yeah, Arthur Hill, and yeah, from here.
Facts. Prior to going into this, you know what I'm saying. I was kind of on the late train. I found out about you doing music as well, so we're gonna touch on
Yeah.
that later. I feel a little later down the line in the story. Um, but as far as doing film and things like that, was this always a passion, or is this something that you developed as you're going along, as far as photography and videography, or where did this come into play?
Yeah, so I always think I had a passion for movies. Like coming up, I used to watch movies all the time. But then like I used to write like movies. I had no idea about technique or the craft. Back in the day, I would say about junior high, maybe. I was writing stuff, but it wasn't nothing serious. And so like I was like at a family member house. I think I was dropping my kids off. They was gonna babysit my kids, and he was just reminding me like, look, I know you said you want to do that movie thing. I think you should go back out and do that. And so I sparked the idea back in my head. But me, see, I respect anything I do. I respect the craft. I'm gonna be a geek about mine. I bought books, audio books.
Right.
Um, I look for mentors. I watched hours of YouTube channels on just the technique and the craft of writing story and so I studied it for like 3 years before I even tried to write my own piece of work. And yeah, that's how I got back into movies.
Facts. That was definitely a very very smart thing to do, and I like the approach that you took to it as far as trying to make sure that you had different education behind what you were doing to make sure you got the efficiency of what you were doing and the professionalism of what you were doing. Because man, listen, when I watch Finesse, which we're gonna get into, it's well
Yeah,
written, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you guys for doing your thing, boy. That shit is crazy, boy. Y'all,
appreciate it. Appreciate
yeah,
it.
man, yeah, man. The way that you guys captured the life, brother, is nice. And I see the different techniques. Looks like you got some drone work going in there. Looks like you got some. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a videographer. I'm just appreciating what you got going and how you did it. The vision of how you want it to come down and everything like that, bro. It's hats off to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hats off to you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate that
Facts,
for sure.
facts, man. So like you said, you were already writing certain screenplays and things back then. What initially sparked that in you? Like, I mean, I mean, one day you're not doing it, and the next day you are. So what kind of, you know what I'm saying? What pressed you to do that, or what did you see that kind of put you in the realm of, hey, maybe I should try this myself?
Um, we'll see. Ah, damn. So they say like if you watching something, or not if you watch something, even if you be around something enough and you can like critique it, right? Maybe you know what I mean that's like a you know how to fix it. Because basically like business is like solving problems in society. So right, so if it's a problem that need to you know you make a business out of it and then you make some money. So like if you like watching something or if you like see some clothes and you like man I think that should have like a stripe right there or like a zipper, you know what I mean? And that kind of lets you know like you should probably try to dibble and dab in that craft. So for me, I watched a bunch of movies and like I used to watch a bunch of movies, especially like the hood movies, and I'd be like, man, why they ain't do it like this? Why they ain't do it like that? And so me just being a critic, it made me curious enough to want to know more about the craft to do it for myself. You know, that's what sparked it.
What were
Yeah.
some of the and really quick while you getting love in here, man? I definitely want to let you know because I'm a big one on support. You know what I'm saying? Not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that the people behind you necessarily build you, but support is so important because it allows you to know that. To me, be honest with you, it feels like at least you know you're going in the right direction. Like people are really feeling what you're doing. They see what you're doing. They're getting behind the movement of what you're doing. So
Yeah.
real quick, you are getting some love in here, my man. It looks like you got P Rider in here. He said 989 putting on us from the Bank Boys. We got Bax Hilly in the building. We got Roland McCraney in the building from the Bank Boys. We got my man DA. You know what I'm saying? So these names, man, they definitely in here. We got Mild that promo in here. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out. Look, let's go. Shout out to Bang Boy. Shout out DA. Yeah, all of them. For sure. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all.
Facts. And shout out again to my man DA because he's the one that like I've never had the privilege of coming down into Saginaw, Michigan, but boy, he make it sound like it's a place to be. You heard me? He's been putting on and letting me know. You know what I'm saying? He's the one been putting them getting in my ear like, hey man, you need to holler at my man Dizzy. You need to holler at my
Yeah.
man C Note. You need to holler at my man Smoke Skywalker. You need to. So I mean, brother, it's so much talent. You know what I'm saying? In
Yeah.
different lanes and where you guys at, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's impossible to sleep on you guys. You guys making noise. So shout out to everybody out there doing your thing. Okay.
See, I agree. Like, well, I want to speak on what you were saying. Like, I mean, it ain't no, if we talking about just a place to be, it ain't a place to be for sure. But the people there is, I mean, you got some talent there. You got some people that definitely is excellent at their craft. But it ain't no place to be there. You know what I mean? Look,
All
look,
right.
oh yeah,
Respect to the boss.
nothing but trappers and rappers in Saginaw.
Trust me, after seeing finessing, I'm 100%. I ain't trying to be in the mix down there, boy.
Yeah,
Yo, you
yeah.
gotta know how to move.
I mean, you know what? I would have said it ain't nothing but trappers and rappers about 7 years ago, but actually, there's a lot of business people there from the neighborhood. A lot of people going into business, and then you got you know what I mean. But it ain't much to look at. You might find somewhere to eat, but that's about it.
I and that's coming
Yeah.
from a resident. Hey, you would know it, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it. Hey, and I'm a big boy now. I like to eat, but he said keep this shit moving. I'm gonna stop by the drive-through, and then I'm gonna
Yeah.
holler at you guys on the other side. You feel me?
There we go. There we go. See,
But
look. If we was ever like to have like a little meet or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, well, look, we can do that in Detroit, or we can go outside the city. You know what
facts,
I mean?
fact. Hey, hey, like I said, the way y'all moving on the move. Hey, I trust you. You know where to be. You gotta know how to stick and move where you be, where you at. So listen, you know what I'm saying. Shout out to them boys again. So, y'all, the way that y'all capture finessing, right? For a minute, I hadn't even because it's multiple episodes. You got episode 1 and 2, or whatever. So I'm watching the movie on YouTube. You feel me? I'm watching it. Before I know it, it slid into part 2. But I ain't even. I'm so in the story, nigga. I ain't even know it was a part 2 till the shit ended. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm like, oh,
yeah,
ooh, you know the Jamaicans.
yeah.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, man, hey, shout out to you boys. You know what I'm saying? But again, let's go back. So you said, you watching these hood stories. Do you know which hood back in the day? Because I know any there are certain hood stories that resonate with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, perfect example,
Yeah.
if you guys ever seen Master P, Repo, things like that. Do you remember which movies it was that you might have been watching while you were coming up? Like, or what was some of your favorites as far as, like you said, critiquing and things like that? If you're watching a story, it's
Yeah.
such a great story, but you're like, why did they go with that? I would change this. What are some of
Right.
those movies, my man?
Right. Okay. I mean, really, like any movie I would watch, I would have like my own ideas of it. Even now, like I got, if I go to the movies with my dogs, like, cause we into the Marvel thing, he'll ask me as soon as we done, yo, what you think? And I break it down to him now, cause I know a little bit of the craft. I'll be like, oh, I think they, you know what I mean? I think this, and that. But okay, so going back to like the neighborhood movies coming up, um, it's just like little. Okay, so one thing about our
Mm-hmm.
audience, and it's really just like just knowing our audience. We got a really low standard for film,
Gotcha.
right? So hood movies always whack. Our standard is super low. So when people make hood movies, it be a bunch of mugs in the room, slapping fives, saying what up, passing the weed, and then like, yeah, that's what a lot of hood movies were. And I'm like,
Facts.
damn, if they and they getting hundreds of thousands of views on this shit. I'm like, God damn. So I'm like, okay, if they could do that, I know I can make
Facts.
something. And that was just me critiquing the independent level. I critiqued like so Master Pete is like one of the ghosts. Like I look to him more than I would look to Jay-Z because he's lived every hood dream you can think of. He been in the NBA, he done sold shoes, and he done showed every type of thing you could think of. He done had the platinum music. You know, he's been a I think he been an actor. Well, he
Facts.
made his own movies.
Facts.
Yeah, so I look at Master P and I look at some of his movies like and I critique and I look at him like, man, you know, some of his stuff like and there's some flaws in my first work. Like I know that it ain't nothing perfect. You know, I'm still working, but I'm looking. I'm like, man, he had too many characters in there, or maybe something was like the story really didn't make sense, or maybe it could have had a better ending. So I know I got the hookup was one for
Facts.
sure. Not the first one, but the second one. I was like, God damn, he had too many people in there. It just felt like a bunch of
Gotcha.
cameos, right? Um, and you couldn't really like enjoy it. How High Two was it? I'm like, God damn, that was terrible. Like it was nothing like the first one. So it's like these, but you know, you find the details, and I was just like critiquing different things. And I know that ain't what I was looking at growing up because they just came out not too long ago. But like, I don't really remember the specifics of when I was growing up, what I was looking at. But I knew when I was looking at it, like, oh, I felt like I can make it better.
Facts.
So
Facts.
yeah,
All right. So as you're watching these things, and I get what you're saying about the multiple storylines and things like that. Sometimes shit just seems like it has too many twists to keep up with the actual solid storyline. Like you got the movie that's taking this path, and then you got its
yeah,
tangents. You know, you got your different characters and they've got a story and they've got a story, but eventually it seems like when too many people have a story, it kind of lose a little sight of what the fucking main vision was the movie,
right,
and then things start going off. And I get you, and that's why I said, man, it takes a mastermind such as yourself to be able to, as you're, you know what I'm saying, visualizing this as you're writing this, you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
of what's important, of what's supposed to be consistent, and knowing when to reel a character back in because it's going way off course. Like I mean, I definitely get that. It's great as us as an audience to have to know the backstory of why this character is important because that kind of helps us relate. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But definitely knowing how to give us just only what we need in order to keep going with the story. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's a whole art in itself. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So definitely don't think what you're doing. Like you said, you pointed out that you know in your earlier works you felt like you know wasn't your best work. The fact that you even tried the shit, man, to jump off the porch, I commend you. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
that in itself, yeah,
I appreciate you, but I gotta let you know, like, the irony of me bringing that up is is because that's a problem in the second episode that I got. I opened up so many different storylines that the ensemble is too much, too many different storylines. But what I did was my objective was, okay, after I made the first story, so this was the thing. I made the first episode, but it was tough making the first episode because when you start to do something, when you're putting something together, people don't have vision. So you'll have a hard time getting people to do the shit. I didn't pay the actors, so it's like, I don't know if we can cuss on here or
No,
what.
listen, no offense.
You know,
You can say whatever the fuck you want to say. Excuse me.
right? You did say no offense. Fuck it. Yes, I couldn't get people to do it because they couldn't see the vision. But after I dropped the first episode, everybody was like, "Here I go, let's do it." And I'm like, "God damn." You know what I mean? I want to make it a hometown hit. So how do I, so I had 4 episodes. This was only supposed to be a 15-minute thing. After I did the first episode, I crunched the last 3 episodes into 1 episode and wrote a bunch of other shit and put like half the city in there. And we just, my goal was like, look, the standard is very low in our, I know that. So this is what you do. Put some people out there that they know they can relate to and keep it entertaining, keep it funny, keep it sexy, and then shit, boom. Because I felt like, you know what, and this is me being like, it might be a little bit of ego, but when I started music, what carried me to be a better artist was my ego. I felt like a lot of hood guys weren't making good movies. Like, I felt like the Gucci and the T.I. movie was whack. I felt like Master P made some whack movies. And I feel like a couple other people made some whack movies. But this is the thing, though. Not to knock them, they great artists, and it's great that they did what they did because they opened a door for us to be able to see, to be able to do that. But me having that ego and critiquing these people is what allowed me to have confidence in myself to go do that. And so when I was putting together that second episode, I opened all them storylines, and I just wanted to keep people entertained because I'm like, oh, all y'all watching, well, shoot, let's just, while the fire hot, let's just keep adding on to it. And so with those first 2 episodes, we got 3 million watch minutes on YouTube. We got and I'm like, God damn, that's a lot of, that's a lot of time motherfuckers spending on 2 pieces of video. You know what I mean?
Like a stop and rush shot. That's no small feat. So congratulations on that too. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
And so I'm like, if y'all paying attention like that, well, we gonna make it something. So because when we did the first episode, okay, when you first start a YouTube channel, in order for you to monetize, you gotta have 4,000 watch hours in 1 year, and you gotta have 1,000 subscribers. We did that off the first episode in like the first few months. And so I was like, God damn, y'all own that. So I'm like, yeah. You know what I mean? Let me add y'all in here. Look, I'm finna put everybody in. We finna have a ball. We gonna make it a hometown hit. And I did too much. I added too many stories in it. But I didn't want to critique. I didn't want to call somebody else out for it and not put myself on a chopping block. Cause look, I made the mistake.
Hey, that's real though. But you know what? What I think about, look at, like they say, the end justifies the means. Like I'd rather, just from a you know what I'm saying, a consumer viewer perspective, I would rather see the opportunities of where it can go than to see it closed off like there's only one way it can go. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I feel like you definitely put in doors. Like you got opportunities now. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of like leaves it on the table as to who's important in priority. Obviously, you've got the main character. You know what I'm saying? You got see though. You know you've got antagonists and protagonists, things like that. But you do still have other people and extras where you kind of leave the door with, if you want to shed light on a little bit on their life a little bit, you got the opportunity to do that while bringing it in. You know what I'm saying? And wrap it and bring it back in. So,
absolutely.
And that's just me looking back from the couch. Like I'm sitting here like, shit, this shit getting deep. Well, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Yep.
It's just real, like you said, real recognized, real man. So I definitely appreciate you for even, like you said, putting yourself on the chopping block and acknowledging it. As far as editing, like people don't even realize what goes into editing. So shout out to that shit, because you got to make sure, you know what I'm saying, that you got enough footage, because having people don't realize how much footage actually goes into this and how much is cut. But you got to make sure that you got a lot of footage enough to tell the story. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So How was that picking location and getting everybody together and making sure people, you know what I'm saying, stayed in character and things like that. Like you said in the first episode when they didn't have the vision, which like the second episode when now they hype, they understand what's going on, and now they got a little spin on it. How does that whole thing play out?
Well, I mean, so it was tough. It was tough. We'll talk about like locations first. It was tough getting locations to shoot because we was in the middle of a pandemic. Everything was closed. So we was running out of options. I'm like, God damn. So I ain't know, like a lot of the scenes we were supposed to shoot it in, we really just had to make up for it and just do it on wherever we could find it. And then they call it like industry people when you like do films that don't really cost a lot of money, you ain't really got to pay for that many locations. They call them on the block films. So I had to write on the block scenes, like where we wouldn't need too much of a scenery, or we wouldn't need too much or put no money into it. So I just had to write stuff like that because we were in the middle of a pandemic, couldn't get locations. People was like getting quarantined, you know what I mean? So that it was a hard time getting locations. Trying to think of what else the question was.
No. I mean, and that in itself, like you said, was I didn't even think about when I asked you that the fact that was Corona was going on. So that in itself was a fucking beast. You know what I'm saying? Because we know that's every day they got something new about what you can and can't do or do that. No, so I didn't even think about you had that different monster on your back while you're still trying to get this out. You know what I'm saying? For video wise. But as far as too, you know, like you said, the first time, going in the first episode. They don't have vision because you're still trying to get it to play out. But after they see it, you know what I'm saying? And now it's time to do the second episode. Now they've gotten a little bit more, you know, depth of, okay, now I get an idea what it is that you're trying to do. You know, especially after we shoot all these scenes and I've watched it played together as far as cohesiveness. Now I see the storyline. Does that help now with the characters as far as being on scene? Do they get it a little bit now more? Are they you know what I'm saying? Does it make it easier because they now have an idea what you're trying to do, or are they still not quite seeing what it is that your final product in your mind is what it is?
Yeah. Man, it was too much. You know what I mean? The first episode it made the name jump up for it so much that it was too much. Everybody wanted to be a part of it. That was the problem. We had too many people want to be a part of it. And you know what I mean? I was just like, man, shit, come on, we've been put you in the scene, and put you in the scene. But see, I wasn't just like blindly doing it. I'm like, okay, I don't know how y'all gonna do as actors. And I may want to write some other stuff. So I need to see who funny. I need to see who look good on camera. So it's really just like a audition, but it was the actual episode. But it was really an audition to see, all right, let me sit back on screen and see who do I like the most. Who do I like, you know what I mean, what characters, because from those episodes, I'm writing a new project now, and I'm sitting back watching, and I'm going to take some people from that. But I mean, going back, I wanted to speak on, man, it was so hard getting that first episode off because it was right in the beginning of the pandemic. I'm talking about everything shut down in March, and we shooting in March.
So it's just
people was real. Yeah, people got sick like while we were shooting it, and then we was using people from the neighborhood. You know, people were getting locked up. You know what I mean? It was tough as hell to shoot that first episode. Yeah. You know, but yeah, you know, but glad we did it, and I'm glad they fucked with it. So. That's
exactly what I was talking about. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize that you guys started because obviously we don't see the finished product. It's now on, you know what I'm saying? It's on YouTube. Boom, we're watching it after it's been edited, after hours of time. You know what I'm saying? After you watched everything, you figured out what's gonna make it, what ain't gonna make it. We're just getting that instant gratification of it being done. But as you, a person behind the scenes, shout out to all the actors and actresses, as you guys are actually making it happen and shooting over this, how long did it take you to actually shoot the first project before editing?
Okay. To shoot it, because we was off and on shooting it. And actually, I'll give you a little backstory. This, did we take that from that? Okay, yeah, because we started shooting the movie before the pandemic, 2019. It was actually supposed to be a whole different thing. It wasn't even a story. It was. When we went, so when they closed everything down, I was working my job. They sent us home for like a few months. I started writing the first episode of Finesse in March, and then we started shooting it like um I think either May. No, we were shooting in March, I think. I don't know, but I shot it. I wrote it in the pandemic, and we shot it. I think it took us about 5 months to shoot it, like here and there.
Mm,
And then after editing it, I would say editing it took like maybe a couple months,
that's
and then we had it out. But see, like it wasn't even supposed to be that long. We just kept adding stuff. You know what I mean? It was supposed to be like 15-minute
I f-
episode.
gotcha.
Yep, I wrote 4 episodes. It's supposed to be 15 minutes, but it kind of added some stuff onto it, and it got longer. And then the second one, I wanted to go all out, and we did like over an hour long. So yeah, it was a whole different thing.
Facts.
Yeah,
Facts. Well,
yeah.
so if I'm not mistaken, now we are on. Cause I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. We were now expecting episode 3, right? That's what we're waiting on. Correct? I mean, I'm saying from a viewer's point of view. I know you already working. I don't want to get it.
Yeah,
I don't want to get too far in your game room because I know you got a lot
yeah.
going on. But as far as
No,
is that what episode that
yeah.
we are now, or where are we up to date as far as released episodes?
Yeah, so yeah, we released episode one and
Mm,
two. Um, man, look, they know. I mean, it's everybody in there from the net. I mean, they know it's net people from Saginaw in the neighborhood. Like, look, I don't know if we gonna get an episode three no time soon.
ooh,
You know what I mean? And I say because look, man, in the midst of the pandemic in the last year, we had people like I think like three of the girls got pregnant, like four people got locked up. Like you know what I mean? And maybe I shouldn't even be saying, but bump that. Look, it's no offense. We gonna keep it
all right.
straight. Like it was like real people from the neighborhood, and that's what really got me thinking. Like, man, you know what I mean? I love my dogs, but you can't just bring everybody from the neighborhood to the set
Facts.
because then you get these situations to where people get locked up. So like some of our main people, we can't even finish the storylines right now. You know what I mean? If I was to bring back a third episode, it would be a whole different thing. I was just telling somebody like, look, maybe I do an episode where we do a backstory. I go back in
Right.
time and we use different actors that builds up. That's one way. But I'm not so bent on I don't want to force it and put another episode three in. Like episode two opened up a lot of can of worms, which I had plans to like pay off stories because stories about raising questions.
Facts.
You make something happen, make people want to know what happens next, and then you promise to pay those questions off later. So with everybody being scattered in their different life situations, these aren't professional actors. We got to make our living outside of this, and then it may comes with life problems such as not being able to leave the house or getting locked up or having a baby or family situations. And so with all that, with real people, with real, this not being our profession, I don't know if I could do an episode three right now. Not saying that it wouldn't happen. I'm looking towards doing a whole new project. Yep. And that's what I'm working on right now.
Man, I love the fact that you kept it that real because a lot of times, like I said, we as viewers don't understand everything that goes into what we're watching, and you know what I'm saying. The fact that you did touch on that, these are real people who do real things. Like they got their real situations going on, and like you said, especially when you got people from the city, you know, when they're dealing with something, they got to deal with that shit. That's just real life. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And I didn't even think about how that might affect, being somebody being on scene, especially when the story is already talking about what goes on in the street life of Saginaw. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I get you, man. I never even thought about that. So what may be some other projects that we want to, what I'm saying, that we need to make sure that we're looking out for my man Dizzy Bates coming out and producing, or some. Are you looking for certain models and things like that, or what's going on right now as far as project wise?
Okay, as far as project wise right now, and I hate to speak on stuff before I have it done, because you get a lot of pump
Facts.
faking nowadays. Because a lot of people want to, just the clout. They want to, and then too, when you're working on something, people like to rush and put it out there, and then it don't even be all the way
Complete.
brought to
Gotcha.
fruition. It's like, what happened to that? Well, it fell apart. Well, shit, why you bring it up? I'm sitting here waiting, but because we talking about something, and you know what I mean, we talking on the pod or on the interview. I have been writing a story. I was looking to do a booty call remake like a neighborhood version of like a booty call. And I ain't gonna say the title though. I ain't gonna say
No,
the
no,
title.
no.
The title
Go ahead.
is a good title. But that's the idea I had was like, Jamie Foxx and bro did like a funny ass thing about just trying to get
Yeah.
some. A simple concept that everybody in the neighborhood understand. You're just trying to get some and and it was funny as fuck. So I'm like, I want to do a remake of that. And so that's what I'm working on now. Yeah.
Facts, facts. Well, at this point in time, it is time for the No Offense Banger. Boss, everybody who sat in your seat, you know what I'm saying, they've had the opportunity. And we always ask this question because genuinely, as we find more and more people to try to get these interviews heard and watched and things like that, we're hoping that this falls on the ears of somebody who can make this call happen for you. So this is the question. There's no wrong way or right way to answer the question. It's just personalized. It's for you. Um, but let's say right now, while we're here, the phone rings, my man. The call comes in. You got to pick it up. When you pick it up, this is gonna be the call that they forever attached to your name, my man. They were like, "Damn, Dizzy in the hood. He's definitely making these movies. It's off the chain." But then he got this call from so and so, and man, he went to making da da da. You know what I'm saying? So it's always when they mention your name, 100 years from now, brother, they're gonna mention this call. What we want to know is who's on the
Yeah.
phone, and how did this conversation go, my man? What's the next thing? What do you think Dizzy Bates needs to be able to take this what you got going now to the very next level for
Yeah.
you?
Okay. Okay. And I got it. Look, I'm already knowing. Um, so this call coming from like, okay, this like, look, this Tyler Perry, right? He like, yo, Dizzy, I like what you doing in Saginaw. You did your thing. I want to invest in you, right? Look, I got about shit, we got like 30 million. You know what I mean? Usually I write my shit, but I want you to do your thing because I see your audience love what you do. We gonna invest this 30 million in this project, and we gonna let you keep some of the money that you make off of it. You know what I mean? We ain't just gonna invest it and take all the money. We're gonna give you the opportunity to make some money too. So what do you say to that? And I'm sitting here like, God damn, let's do it, shit. Let's do it.
Facts.
Or see, look though, I said Tyler Perry. Only reason I said Tyler Perry is because um I don't see a lot of people that be in position helping other people, but I know he put a lot of people
Facts.
on. You know what I mean? So him or either I get that call from Tyler Perry or somebody that's actually talking to the audience that I'm talking to, 50 Cent. Because he right now he's doing what 50 Cent did. He's seen that, okay, they liked hood movies. Ice Cube did a little bit here and there. Master P did a little bit here and there. Spike Lee, they did some stuff for the neighborhood. So what he did was he made a whole his whole
Power.
movie career thing, yeah, all about the neighborhood, a bunch of hood movies. He went from Power to the different categories in Power. Then he just focused on hood movies. So since he doing what my audience do, I could get that call from 50. Like, look, not even 30 million, because I know 50 ain't probably working with TP money. He probably like, look, Dizzy, I got like 5 million. You know what I mean? I see you over there doing your thing. Look, I'm gonna cut you in. We gonna invest in this, and you can do your thing. And I'm like, yeah, goddamn, let's do it. Let's do it, 50. So yeah, that's what it
Facts,
is.
brother. And listen, I know you got the ambition, and I know you got the work ethic to make for these calls to find you. You know what I'm saying? To me personally, they don't sound that far fetched or even that they far off. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
so definitely keep putting this grind there because, bro, as you can tell from YouTube, these are people from all over who are watching you, man. They see exactly what's going on. They with you. They love the storyline. You know what I'm saying? They're wanting to see more. You know what I'm saying? So obviously where you're at, you're fish in water, my man. You're where you're supposed to be. You feel me? So definitely keep putting in that work. We definitely believe hard work pays off. And we can't wait to see you at the top. I've got a couple more questions for you, my man, and then I'll be able to let you
Okay.
go. So I definitely appreciate your time. Give me 1 second.
Absolutely. No problem. Appreciate you for having me. Thank you.
No problem, my man. The first question is because I want to coffee, so I apologize. Okay, the first
Yeah.
question is for everybody who's just now been put on game about Dizzy Bates. You know what I'm saying? For some reason, they've been under the rock. They haven't seen the Saginaw movie and things like that, but they gonna see it. My man Da did drop the links in the chat, so
Okay.
y'all have no excuse. You know what I'm saying? If y'all can watch me for you know what I'm saying for what 48 minutes, this movie is a hell of a lot more interesting. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking nothing away from my boy Dizzy, but I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you need to go check this shit out, and you'll understand why we got my man on here today, for real. You know what I mean? So, um, Going forward, how can those who just now hearing about you, how can they follow, you know what I'm saying, your endeavors and things like that you're jumping into going forward? Where are you at online? Where can they, you know what I'm saying? I know you don't give everybody access to you, but where is it that they might be able to send your message and things like that, and just follow your career?
Okay, yeah. If if anybody wanted to figure out what I do, or go to YouTube. That's my most valuable, not social media app, but I guess it's social media. You talking to the world. That's my most valued app of today is YouTube. Anything I've ever done in my history of business, I put on YouTube. So whether it's music, whether it's live events, whether it's photography and modeling, whether it's the movies, I put all that on YouTube. Um, and so what you would do is you just go to YouTube, type in Dizzy Bates, Dizzy, space Bates. Same thing on Instagram, same thing on Facebook, Dizzy Bates. If you put that in anywhere, you're gonna bring me up. And it specifically won't nobody have that name because I really just took like a nickname people call me was Dizzy, and I took my family name Bates. And I'm like, that's specific to me. So I know that people will be able to find me. It's like when you coming up with a brand name, you kind of want to do something that's gonna like pinpoint to you. So that's how I came up with mine.
Word to
Yep.
Frank Lucas, it's a brand name. I can stand behind it. I guarantee it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we
Facts. Facts.
yeah.
The second question, my man, is now that we have come through the interview, and again, I don't tell them what I'm gonna ask them before they get on here. So shout out to you for holding composure. And I know with a name like No Offense, like I said, I know it's got to be the back of your mind. Like I hope this nigga don't ask me something crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you come through the interview, my man, and now that you're on the side, I like I said, I know you're busy. In the future, if we're able to pull your collar and say, hey man, this has been a minute, you know what I'm saying, so we're able to sit down with you, would you be willing, you know what I'm saying, if you have the time to come back and sit down with us, fellowship with us, brother, get to know what's going on with you from now until then?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, look, I want to see you grow, do your thing, and if any way I can help, if I got to tap back in, you know what I mean, or any way you can help me, I would ask. And but if you want me to come back and they want me to come back, fans want to see it again, we'll do it again. But no, people do like if you ever want to do this again, of course, I'm here to, definitely talk and do
I
whatever.
appreciate you, brother. And same. If I can, you know what I'm saying. If there's any way at all that you see that we can assist you in getting what you need done, don't hesitate to ask me, brother. I'll be man. Listen, any way I can help. Most humble person, I promise. You know what I'm saying.
Trust me, I won't. Look, I'm straightforward. I'm like, look, bro. Well, you got them couple dollars now, just
Hey,
like shit. But no, I definitely would ask you about, if we could collab on anything. I would definitely wouldn't hesitate. So I appreciate you
hey
offering that.
man,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
and again, my door is open, so I'm serious. You gonna catch me in inbox and come. I'm like, hey man, remember when we talked about that thing on the show? You be like,
Yeah,
man, yeah, I got you. So the
yeah.
third and
So,
final question that we got for today, man, and honestly, it has been an honor, man, to even be able to sit down with you, like I said, for a moment of your time, to get to talk to a great mind like you, such as yourself. Would you do us the honor of introducing what we're gonna leave the audience with today?
yep, yep. So look, yo, right now we about to get into this song "Saginaw Love" from Darrell Austin, DA. A Saginaw native. He gonna drop that classic goodness on y'all. Check that out, listen to it, and show him some love.
Hey man, Dizzy, I appreciate you for coming through, brother. Again, just an awesome individual, brother. I thank you for coming through. And then, so next time we meet, man, I need you to do a couple things for me, man. Keep grinding. Definitely keep putting out these movies, because man, I'm biting my nails over here for this third episode. God damn it, you know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, in the
Look,
between time, if you got anything new, man, I'm gonna subscribe to your channel. Just make sure you hit that bell so I know what time it is when it comes out. All right? Because I'm serious. I'm watching that shit.
ab- look, absolutely. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you for having me on. No offense, that's what it
Yes,
is.
sir. Until then, stay up, my brother. I see you. Yes, sir.
There we go.
All right, guys, this does conclude our interview today with Dizzy Bates. As you can tell, man, this man is definitely a revolutionary. He's doing things. He's putting the hood on. Shout out to the way that he put together the movie. You know what I'm saying? That's here a lot of support for the artists, the local artists that are in the community. Guys, if you have not seen Finesse, you know what I'm saying, you need to go watch that. It's available on YouTube. It's definitely free. Support don't cost a thing. And like you said, it's definitely something that's going to encapsulate your mind. Something that's going to capture your intrigue, your interest. You're going to see people that you know, okay? You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're in the Saginaw area. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you guys as well for putting on each other, man, and definitely coming up with something bigger than yourselves as far as a concept that's going to help put the town on and help put the city on and make everybody boom. You know what I'm saying? So, like he said, we are going to leave y'all with a little bit of Saginaw love. This is my man, Daryl Austin. Shout out to my man, DA. Congratulations to him as well. His latest video, Hennessy and Sex remix, is going over 35,000, I believe, here on YouTube, or it's very, very close to it. So make sure that you support. You know what I'm saying? But on the way out, we're going to do this like only Saginaw can, man. Here's Saginaw love, man. If you like this video, this is also available on YouTube. So appreciate y'all, the good city of Saginaw, good state of Michigan, and the good state of everybody else who's watching. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all for tapping in and allowing us to zoom in on your community in the time being. Until the next time we meet, guys, don't wait on the world to change when you could change the world. We are out.
Down M13 through Genesee, I-75 is the home for me. Welcome to Saginaw, Saginaw, Saginaw. Down M13 through Genesee, I-75 is the home for me. Welcome to Saginaw, Saginaw, Saginaw. Seminole, Sheridan is where it all started for me. They say home is where you make it, there's no place that I'd rather be. Emerson, the South to Arthur Hills, so many memories. The city where I'm from is built to love along with tragedy. I'm from the east side of my city where they hustle for their family. Shout out the north side, south side, west side, and BV. I'm from the S-A-G-I-N-A, dub where we thug some Crips and blood. Still I grip the snub, tryna get some grub. Buy a dub, tryna triple up. Show my niggas down M13 through Genesee, I-75 is the home for me. Welcome to Saginaw, Saginaw, Saginaw. Down M13 through Genesee, I-75 is the home for me. Welcome to Saginaw, Saginaw, Saginaw. This is my letter to thuggin', know you left too soon. Olin Hardy, see ya, you left too soon. My city filled with graveyards where there's no room, and nobody wins when the family feuds. Yet and still, this is home for me. Old Jipway, Big Johns, and CAC. I miss the limelight in the souls, just to name a few. Pop a bottle for my city, this one's for you. I wanna bring that whole thing back. Bring the fair and the Gus Macker back. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Yeah, I'm from the S-A-G-I-N-A, dub where we thug some Crips and blood. Still I grip the snub, tryna get some grub. Buy a dub, tryna triple up. Show my niggas down M13 through Genesee, I-75 is the home for me. Welcome to Saginaw, Saginaw, Saginaw. Down M13 through Genesee, I-75 is the home for me. Welcome to Saginaw, Saginaw, Saginaw. This is my